My sister and I were both adopted from the same orphanage. When we got to choose our paths, she picked a prominent family in Edinburgh City, wealthy, influential, and utterly untouchable. But the heir turned out to be twisted and cruel. He tormented her day in and day out. I chose the unassuming Moss family. They didn't have the fortune or the status of her new family, but they treated me with genuine warmth. In time, their youngest son became a business titan, and he married me, giving me a life filled with more happiness than I'd ever dreamed possible. Consumed by jealousy, my sister secretly strangled me. But when I opened my eyes again, I found she had shamelessly stolen the life I'd built, this time, choosing the Moss family for herself. "Carmen," she sneered, "now it's your turn to suffer." I almost laughed out loud. Did she think the Moss heir was some simple jackpot? I opened my eyes on the very day my sister Hazel and I were to be chosen for adoption. "I'm very obedient, and I can do all the housework. Please pick me," Hazel simpered, putting on a show of perfect innocence as she clutched the hand of Brad Moss, the Moss family's youngest son. So, she was a reborn too. "Girl," said a refined woman, her voice cool with confusion. "I thought you said you liked our family." She was Alexander Moreland's mother. The Morelands were the first family of Edenorf's elite, though the heir himself, Alexander, was nowhere to be seen. "I changed my mind," Hazel retorted, shrinking behind Brad as if he were a human shield. "Is that a crime?" Mrs. Moreland's face tightened. "Such a fickle child is unworthy of the Moreland name." Then her gaze softened as she turned to me. "You seem like a good girl. Come with me. We have a son at home you'll like." I simply nodded and took her outstretched hand. A triumphant gleam flashed in Hazel's eyes, as if she'd just won a great victory. But she had no idea. While everyone feared Alexander's eccentricities, I was far more terrified of Brad, a guy as cold and venomous as a snake. In my last life, I had spent years desperately trying to escape his grasp. This time, she had unknowingly done me the biggest favor imaginable. As Mrs. Moreland stepped outside to get the car, Hazel sidled up to me, her eyes full of contempt. "Enjoy your new life, Carmen," she whispered. "This time, you're the one who will suffer." I didn't even bother to reply. Her gloating was nothing more than a clown's performance. She thought she had secured a fresh start. But the joke was on her. She hadn't escaped a fire. She had just jumped headfirst into a hell far more brutal than she could ever imagine. After I arrived at the Moreland estate, Mrs. Moreland gave me a private suite and hired a small army of tutors for piano, dance, and etiquette. She was gentle but frank. "Sweetheart, I'll be honest. I adopted a daughter to find a suitable match for my son. You must apply yourself. Alexander returns from abroad in a month. If he takes a liking to you, your future will be secure. Remember, the entire Moreland legacy will be his one day." I knew from my last life that Alexander had felt nothing but disdain for Hazel, and her time here had been miserable. I didn't dare hope the cold, aloof heir would favor me either. I needed my own plan for survival. A month later, the Morelands held a grand ball to welcome Alexander home. The elite of Edenorf were all there, including the Moss family, due to their close business ties. Across the glittering ballroom, Hazel spotted me immediately. Dressed in a virginal white gown, she glided over, her smile as sharp as a knife. "Enjoy the party, Carmen," she whispered. "Tonight will be the most humiliating night of your life." I remembered this banquet well from my last life. It was when she had first met Alexander. He had taken one look at her, frowned in disgust, and told her to get lost in front of everyone. She had shamelessly clung to him, declaring herself his future wife. He had kicked her away without a second thought, but I was reborn too. I knew how her story ended, and I had already charted a different course.